Hey! Welcome back to my channel, the channel that fuels your mind, energy, and purpose. We are exploring a powerful framework developed by Dr. David Hawkins, the map of consciousness, a model that reveals how your emotional state and mindset radiate energy that shapes your entire reality. According to Dr. Hawkins, consciousness is not just a thought, it's energy. And that energy vibrates at specific frequencies, measurable on a scale from 1 to 1000. These frequencies tell us how empowered or disempowered we are at any given moment. He introduced this concept in his groundbreaking book, Power versus Force, where he outlines how each level of consciousness, from shame to enlightenment, which is from the lowest scale of the scale to the highest, how these correspond with a unique vibration, emotion, and worldview. So at the lowest of the scale, you'll find heavy, draining states of energy like shame, which calibrates at the level of 20. Here you have humiliation, deep self rejection, and energetic collapse. So, shame is the worst feeling on the scale of the map of consciousness, followed by guilt, which is a little higher, is 30. In this state, people blame themselves, they punish themselves, and at 50, you have apathy. Here, people are numb, hopelessness abounds, and disconnection from life itself. These states are energetically weak, contracting your field and making personal progress feel nearly impossible. As you move up the scale, you pass through fear, which calibrates at 100, a contracting energy that alerts us to danger but can also hold us back. Desire at 125 is a restless craving that fuels ambition but rarely brings fulfillment. Anger, a fire that can destroy or drive change depending on how it's used. Pride at 175, a more empowering state, but one tied, which is courage, to 200. This is where everything changes. It's the first level of true power where you move from reaction to conscious action. Above 200, we rise into empowering and life affirming states. Neutrality at 250, which is a flexible and non attachment state. At 310, it's a willingness, is an openness to learn and growth. 350 is acceptance, where we have inner harmony and responsibility, a sense of responsibility. Love calibrates at 500, which is unconditioning healing and magnetic. It transcends ego and heals others just by being present. At the highest frequencies, we encounter joy at 540, peace at 600, and enlightenment at 700 to 1000, states where a sense of separation dissolves and one emerges into a pure sense of being, awareness, and unity with all. What's revolutionary about this model is that it shows how truth and integrity vibrate at high levels, while falsehood and fear reside in lower frequencies. Energy doesn't lie, it either uplifts, or depletes. So, by evaluating your consciousness, you're not just changing your personal life, you're contributing to the collective shift in humanity. Let's journey through each level, starting from the bottom, understanding the emotions, the energy, and the worldview that define them, and how to move higher. We'll begin with the first one on the lowest level, which is shame. I'm just going to expound a little bit about each emotion, each feeling, each energy field. Emotion, which is humiliation. At this stage, the worldview is miserable. The energy is collapsed. This is the darkest place on the scale where people feel invisible, defective, or unworthy of life. Healing begins with compassion and gentle truth. So, in this stage is where you find people feel rejected and they feel that they're not enough. This is the where people have acute depression, and this is where people, think of harming themselves. The second one is guilt. The emotion here is blame, and the view of life is evil. The energy is condemnation. Guilt weighs down the spirit with punishment and regret. It leads to cycles of self sabotage and shame. The key to rising out of guilt is forgiveness. Start by forgiving yourself. Release the grip of the past and open the space to healing. Number three is apathy. The emotion here is despair. The view of life is hopeless, and the energy is powerless. The energy that this person who feels, who calibrates at the rate of 50, which is apathy, feels powerless. Apathy is a void where the will to act feels absent and dreams seem meaningless. The path out begins with caring just a little. One spark of concern or curiosity can ignite the climb to higher energy. The fourth state is grief, which calibrates at 75. The emotion here is regret. The view of life is tragic, and the energy is loss, a feeling of loss. Grief may be heavy, but it's also a sign of love, of something that someone that or something that mattered. When grief is honored and fully felt, it becomes a sacred doorway to an emotional strength and clarity. Number five is fear, which calibrates at 100. The emotion is anxiety, and the view of life is frightening. The energy is contraction. Fear narrows your world, it restricts movement, blinds vision, and clouds decisions. But fear is also a threshold. Step into it, and on the other side lies growth. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's movement despite it. Number six is desire, which calibrates at the level of 125. The emotion at this stage is a craving. The view of life is disappointing, and the energy is chasing. Desire fuels action, but often from a restless, unfulfilled place. It's a never enough kind of energy. The energy of always seeking, never arriving. True fulfillment begins when desire is aligned with heart, purpose, and conscious intention. Number seven is anger, which calibrates at 150. The emotion here is hate. The view of life is antagonistic, and the energy is fire. Anger is fire, it burns, but it also transforms. It can be a wake up call, a sign of personal power returning when channeled with purpose. Anger becomes a force for justice, truth, and change. Number eight is pride, which calibrates at the level of 175. The emotion is scorn. The view of life is demanding. The energy at this level is inflated. Pride feels strong, but it's brittle. It clings to ego, comparison, and the illusion of superiority. True power only begins when we drop pride and embrace humility. That's when the heart opens and the real climb begins. 200 is the courage, the gateway to true power. This is a critical pivot point. Below 200, the energy is draining and reactive. At 200 and above, we step into creative and life enhancing consciousness. Courage that calibrates as 200, the emotion here is affirmation. The view of life is it is visible. The energy is that of empowerment. Courage is the leap into self responsibility. It's where fear is met with action and the world becomes a place of possibility. Here, we take risks, face truth, and become the conscious creators of our lives. A 250 is neutrality. The emotion here is trust, the view of life is satisfactory, and the energy is relaxed. Neutrality is freedom from attachment. Things don't have to go your way for you to be at peace. This energy flows for fluidity, adaptability, and inner calm. It's the space where stress dissolves and life begins to flow. 11 is willingness, which calibrates at 310. The emotion here is optimism. The view of life is hopeful, and the energy is commitment. Willingness is the open heart, the learner's mind. It's where people embrace growth. They say yes to life and step fully into service, creativity, and contribution. Energy becomes expansive and magnetic here. Number 12 is acceptance. The emotion here is forgiveness. The view of life is harmonious. The energy is alignment. Acceptance calibrates at the level of 350. Acceptance isn't passive, it's powerful. It means seeing reality clearly and choosing to respond with integrity, not resistance, but integrity. From this place, judgment dissolves and self mastery begins. 13 is the energy of love. Love calibrates at 500. The emotion is reverence. The view of life is benign. and the energy is radiant. This is not romantic love, it's unconditional, healing, and inclusive. Love at this level is magnetic. It doesn't try to change people, it embraces them fully. Few sustain this frequency, but those who do uplift humanity. 14 is joy. The emotion here is serenity. The view of life is complete. The energy is bliss. Joy calibrates at the level of 540. Joy is spontaneous and spiritual. It arises from the connection to life itself. Here, everything is enough. Every moment feels like a gift. This is the realm of profound gratitude, creativity, and deep inner peace. 15 is peace. It calibrates at 600. The emotion here is bliss. The view of life is perfect. The energy is illumination. Peace transcends understanding. The mind grows quiet, the heart fully opens, and the ego completely dissolves. It's the vibration where people who have surrendered to the flow of the divine operate. Enlightenment calibrates at the level of 700 to 1000. The emotion here is ineffable. The view of life is, and the energy is pure consciousness. This is the highest state beyond thought, beyond time, is the realm of the saints and enlightened beings. Here, separation disappears. What remains is unity, truth, and infinite love. This map of consciousness gives us a scale, a pathway to evolve. By understanding where we are consciously, we can move upward. Every shift we make contributes to the evolution and the elevation of human consciousness. Remember, energy doesn't lie, and your vibration determines your reality. Are you ready to rise? Look at the map of consciousness and ask yourself where you are at this map and how you can get onto higher levels. So, if you feel that this is an important topic for you or for someone that you know, then send it to them. And please do not forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel. Until next time, bye bye.